This is United Airlines Flight 173. They are on their way to Portland, Oregon. The airport is on the horizon, and they are only minutes away from landing. The pilot lowers the landing gears. A loud thump comes from the cabin. The landing gear indicator is not turning green, which creates suspicion amongst the crew. This incident leads to a chain of events that is going to change the fate of 189 souls on board and the history of aviation itself. United Airlines Flight 173 is on its journey from New York to Portland with a stopover at Denver. At 2:47 p.m. Pacific Time, Flight 173 departs from Denver with 181 passengers and 8 crew members, with an estimated travel time of 2 hours and 26 minutes. Captain Melbourne McBroom, one of United Airlines' senior pilots, is in charge of the flight, alongside First Officer Roderick Beebe and Flight Engineer Forrest Mendenhall. According to the flight plan, they should be landing in Portland by 5:13 p.m, about 40 minutes after sunset. Around 5:05, Captain McBroom contacts Portland Air Traffic Control to report their approach. In 4 minutes, Air Traffic Control confirms their descent and clears them to 6,000 feet. According to Captain McBroom, the flight from Denver to Portland was normal, but that's about to change. During the descent, First Officer Beebe, who is flying the aircraft, requests Captain McBroom to lower the wing flaps to 15 degrees and deploy the landing gears. The captain confirms that the request is completed, but immediately something goes wrong. The indicator for the right landing gear doesn't turn green. They don't know if it is a burnt out bulb or a mechanical failure. Passengers in the cabin hear a loud thump. Meanwhile, Portland Control contacts them with further instructions. The flight responds.
Yeah, I have indication here is abnormal.
Air Traffic Control places the flight into a holding pattern at 5,000 feet. 20 minutes have passed. They are circling above Portland's suburbs. Inside the cockpit, the captain, the first officer, and the flight engineer discuss all possible emergency and precautionary measures in case of an emergency land. At the same time, they decide to inform first flight attendant Joanne Wheeler of the situation. In the midst of all this, the captain unintentionally fails to monitor one critical component of the aircraft: fuel. According to the flight plan, the fuel required for the trip from Denver to Portland is 31,900 pounds. When Flight 173 left Denver, it carried 46,700 pounds of fuel, including the FAA mandated 45-minute reserve and an extra 20 minutes per United Airlines policy. Everything was in place for a safe journey, but how does fuel tie into a landing issue? It's 5:45 p.m. Flight 173 has now been circling Portland for about 45 minutes. Around this time, Flight Officer Beebe asks the flight engineer for a fuel update. He replies, 5,000. That's enough fuel to make another approach to the airport. At least that's what the pilots thought. Currently, they are 14.9 miles south of the airport, heading southwest. With every mile, they are getting closer to running out of reserves. Around 6 p.m, the lead flight attendant returns to the cockpit. She confirms that the cabin is ready for an emergency landing. Fuel is now down to 3,000 pounds, but the captain still believes they can make it. Then suddenly, the flight engineer yells, "We are losing an engine." "Why?" the captain asks. "Low fuel," the engineer replies. While trying to troubleshoot the landing gear issue, Captain McBroom has lost track of the fuel situation. The atmosphere in the cockpit shifts. Tension, stress, panic begins to surface. The first officer urges them to open the crossfeeds, a system that transfers fuel between engines. It's the only way to salvage any fuel that they have left on board. But it's too late. The flight engineer confirms that engine 4 has flamed out. He warns, "We are about to lose engine 3. Within 60 seconds, They do. Now they are down to 2 engines. The captain still believes they can make the runway. Fuel level is down to 1,000 pounds. Get this on the ground, the captain urges, followed by the flight engineer's confirmation that engine 2 is empty. There's only 1 engine left. Hope is slipping away. They briefly considered diverting to the nearby Diehl airport. In desperation, the captain even suggests landing on the highway along the bank of the river. By 6:13 p.m., every last ounce of fuel is gone. Both engines 1 and 2 flame out. The crew declares a mayday.
United 173 Heavy, mayday, mayday. The engines are flaming out. We're going down. We're not going to be able to make the airport.
United Airlines Flight 173 crashes into a wooded area in the suburb of Portland. Miraculously, there's no fire, because there's no fuel left to ignite. At the time of the crash, an Air Force Reserve unit stationed at Portland International Airport was conducting training. They arrive at the crash site quickly and begin searching for survivors. Passengers and crew slowly emerge, but not all of them. Flight engineer Forrest Mendenhall, flight attendant John Wheeler, and 8 passengers are killed. 3 of them are children. 2 crew members and 21 passengers are severely injured. Following the crash, the National Transportation Safety Board investigates. Their conclusion: while the decision to abort the landing was prudent, the accident occurred because the flight crew became so absorbed with diagnosing the problem that they failed to monitor their fuel state and calculate a time when they needed to return to land or risk fuel exhaustion. They also found that the right landing gear was in fact down and locked, but a faulty microswitch, likely damaged due to the sudden drop of a landing gear, prevented the cockpit light from turning green. That one signal triggered a chain reaction. As a result of the investigation, crew resource management training was born. It emphasizes clear communication, situational awareness, teamwork, and shared responsibility. Investigator Alan Diehl points out that the first officer and flight engineer failed to communicate the urgency of the fuel crisis. Captain McBroom is held responsible for the crash. He loses his license. In 1981, United Airlines implemented CRM training for all pilots. By the 1990s, it became a global standard in aviation. While United Airlines Flight 173 ended in tragedy, it sparked a conversation around cockpit hierarchy and changed the way crews operate forever, leading aviation into a new direction.